Hey, what's up, everyone? Today we're diving into a topic that's super important. So if you're looking to level up your finances and unlock that sweet, sweet financial freedom, you're in the right place. Living paycheck to paycheck or feeling like money is slipping through your fingers can be stressful. I have some solid tips to help you take control of your financial future. Let's unlock the Millennials cheat code together. Why budgeting matters. First things first, why is budgeting so crucial? Well, budgeting is like having a roadmap for your money. It helps you track where your cash is going, set financial goals, and ultimately gives you control over your financial future. Think of it as your personal cheat code to financial freedom. Being financially free is a dream shared by many, but achieved by few. It's a feeling of empowerment, of independence, and of freedom from the burdens of debt and money worries. And that's exactly what these budgeting hacks promise to deliver fast. Student debt, rising living costs, and increasing pressure to keep up with the latest trends. These are just a few of the financial struggles that many millennials face today. It's no wonder that a lot of us feel like we're drowning in a sea of debt with no clear way out. The truth is, millennials are facing a unique set of financial challenges that previous generations didn't have to deal with. And that's exactly why we need to be smarter, more creative, and more intentional with our money. Budgeting equals control plus freedom. The reality is, most of us are stuck in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, with little to no savings and a whole lot of financial stress. We're constantly wondering how to make ends meet and how to get out of this vicious cycle. But the truth is, it doesn't have to be this way. With the right budgeting hacks, you can break free from the shackles of debt and start building wealth. Let's face it, budgeting can be boring, but it's essential if you want to achieve financial freedom. The good news is, you don't have to be a financial expert to get started. All you need is a willingness to learn and a few simple hacks to get you on your way. One of the most powerful budgeting hacks is the 50-30-20 rule. Now, let's talk about a simple budgeting method perfect for millennials, the 50-30-20 rule. Here's how it works. Before we move forward, I have a question for you. Ever notice how your paycheck feels like it's playing a disappearing act worthy of David Copperfield? You start with this beautiful, juicy number at the top, and by the time it hits your bank account, it's somehow transformed into lunch money. Welcome to the magical world of net income, where dreams of becoming a millionaire meet reality. Let's be honest, most of us are walking around like peacocks, bragging about our salary like it's the score we got on a math test. I make $80,000 a year. Yeah, and I'm Batman. That number you're so proud of? That's your gross income. Emphasis on gross, because what happens next is pretty disgusting. Picture this. You're at a fancy restaurant, ordering a $100 steak. The waiter brings it over, but before you can take a bite, the government shows up and cuts off a third. Your company's benefits program grabs another slice. Social Security takes a nibble. By the time everyone's done, you're left with what looks suspiciously like a chicken nugget. That's your net income, the real number you're working with. It's like dating someone who looks amazing on their profile pic, but when you meet in person, they're wearing their grandmother's dentures and have a pet ferret named Sir Stinks-a-Lot. The truth isn't always pretty, but you need to know it. Here's the kicker. Trying to become a millionaire without knowing your net income is like trying to fill a swimming pool with a colander. Sure, you're pouring lots of water in, but there's a slight problem with your strategy. You need to know exactly how much money you actually have to work with each month. Not the fantasy number on your offer letter, but the cold hard cash that's actually hitting your account. Think about it. If you're planning your millionaire journey based on your gross income, you're basically using monopoly money to buy real estate. Those investment plans, about as reliable as a chocolate teapot. That saving strategy, more holes than a Swiss cheese factory. So here's what you do. Take that beautiful salary number, subtract taxes, healthcare, retirement contributions, and anything else that gets taken out before you see it. What's left is your net income, your real financial superhero. It might not look as impressive as its gross cousin, but at least it's honest about its intentions. Track your spending, all of it. Ever wonder why your wallet feels lighter than a feather by the end of the month? Join the club. I used to think I was great with money until I actually started tracking my spending. Turns out I was basically running a charity, except the only beneficiary was my local coffee shop. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up thinking you're Warren Buffett because you've got a solid plan to save money. Then you buy a coffee and a muffin. And oh, that new phone case is cute. Before you know it, you've spent 40 bucks and it's not even 9 a.m. Here's the thing about becoming a millionaire. It's not just about making money, it's about keeping it. And let me tell you, those small purchases are like tiny ninjas, silently assassinating your dreams of wealth. That $5 smoothie, that's actually $825 a year. Suddenly not so smooth, is it? I started tracking every penny I spent, and boy, was it eye-opening. Turns out I wasn't just bleeding money, I was hemorrhaging it. Who knew? I was spending $200 a month on emergency snacks. The only emergency was my complete lack of self-awareness. The funny thing about tracking your spending is that it forces you to face reality. Like that gym membership you're keeping, just in case you decide to become a fitness influencer. Spoiler alert, those Instagram-worthy abs aren't going to materialize just because you're paying for a membership you haven't used since last New Year's resolution. But here's where it gets interesting. Once you start tracking, you become like a detective in your own financial crime story. Those mysterious charges on your credit card, no longer a mystery. That's right. You'll remember exactly why you spent $47.99 at 2 a.m. on a flamingo-shaped pool float, even though you don't have a pool. The real magic happens when you realize that tracking your spending isn't about depriving yourself. It's about making conscious choices. Sure, you could buy that artisanal, handcrafted, ethically sourced, gluten-free vegan cookie for $7. Or you could put that money towards your future millionaire fund and eat the regular cookies like the rest of us peasants. Remember, every millionaire started somewhere, and I guarantee they weren't getting there by ignoring their daily latte habit. So grab your phone, download a spending tracker, and prepare to be enlightened by where your money is really going. Because the path to wealth starts with facing the brutal truth about your questionable purchasing decisions. Don't make the rookie mistake of budgeting based on your gross income. You'll end up overspending faster than you can say, credit card debt. If you're a freelancer or side hustler with a regular income, track everything carefully. Subtract taxes and business expenses to figure out what you really have to work with. Remember, knowledge is power, and in this case, it's the power to stop overdrafting your account. Sticking to your budget can be challenging, but it's totally doable. Try meal prepping to save on dining out, and look for free or low-cost entertainment options. Small changes add up. Set clear financial goals. Dream big, budget bigger. Let me tell you about my friend Jake, who thought his investment strategy of buying lottery tickets and hoping for the best was going to make him rich. Spoiler alert, it didn't. See, Jake was like most of us, big dreams, empty wallet, and a habit of impulse buying things he'd never use. His proudest purchase? A unicycle. Because apparently, regular transportation wasn't complicated enough. But then something changed. Jake stumbled across an article about setting financial goals while hiding from his credit card bills in his bathroom. Yes, literally hiding. The article wasn't revolutionary. It just said to write down specific financial targets and create a reasonable budget. But for Jake, it was like discovering fire. First, he wrote down his ultimate goal, become a millionaire by age 45. Then he broke it down into smaller, actionable steps. Instead of saying, I want to save money, he wrote, I will save $1,000 per month. Instead of I want to invest, he planned exactly how much would go into his retirement account, index funds, and yes, his emergency don't eat ramen forever fund. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Jake didn't just dream big, he budgeted bigger. He started tracking every dollar like a detective stalking their prime suspect. He even created a spreadsheet called Where Did My Money Go? Oh, right? That's where. Turns out he was spending $200 a month on artisanal coffee. His coffee maker now sits next to the unicycle. But here's the real kicker. Jake discovered that when you set clear financial goals, your money actually starts working for you instead of playing hide and seek. He started seeing his savings grow, his investments compound, and his stress levels drop. Well, except for that one time he accidentally ordered a year's supply of toilet paper during a late night shopping spree. At least he was prepared for 2020. The funny thing about setting clear financial goals is that it's like giving your money a GPS. Without it, your money's just wandering around aimlessly, probably ending up at the nearest fast food drive-thru. But with clear goals, your money knows exactly where it's going and how to get there. Jake's still working on his millionaire status, but now he's got a real shot at it. His ramen days are behind him, his investments are growing, and he's even thinking about selling that unicycle. Although let's be honest, some dreams are worth keeping, even if they're completely impractical and might result in a few emergency room visits. What are you working toward? Paying off student loans? Saving for a house? Traveling the world? Setting specific financial goals gives your budget a purpose. Instead of just saving money, try something like save $10,000 for a down payment in 2 years. Break it down into monthly targets so it feels achievable. Pro tip, write these goals down and put them somewhere visible, like on your fridge or as your phone wallpaper. Studies show that written goals are more likely to become reality. Tools to help you budget. Another budgeting hack is using budgeting apps. There are tons of tools out there to help you. Apps like Mint, YNAB, You Need a Budget, or even a simple spreadsheet can make a world of difference. You Need a Budget, or Personal Capital. These apps are designed to make tracking your expenses easy and provide you with a clear picture of where your money is going. You can also use cashback apps like Ibotta or Rakuten to earn money back on your purchases. And if you're feeling creative, you can try your hand at meal prepping or finding free entertainment options in your area. One budgeting hack that has worked wonders for many millennials is the envelope system. This system involves dividing your expenses into categories and then placing the corresponding budgeted amount into an envelope for each category. For example, if you've budgeted $100 for entertainment, you would place that amount into an envelope marked entertainment. This hack helps you stick to your budget and avoid overspending. And the best part is, it's incredibly simple to implement. I've seen many millennials transform their financial situation using this one simple hack. For example, Sarah, a 25-year-old marketing executive, was able to pay off $10,000 in credit card debt in just 6 months using the envelope system. She simply divided her expenses into categories and then placed the corresponding budgeted amount into an envelope for each category. She also made sure to prioritize her debt repayment and cut back on unnecessary expenses. Okay, so how do you actually stick to this budget? The key to making this hack work is to be intentional with your money and to prioritize your financial goals. You have to be willing to make sacrifices and to take control of your finances. And the best part is, it's not rocket science. Anyone can do it, as long as they're willing to put in the work. I'm not saying you have to give up your lattes, but knowing where your money goes is the first step to redirecting it toward your goals. Budgeting systems that work. I spent years throwing money around like confetti at a parade before I learned the secret. Choosing the right budgeting system is like finding the perfect pair of jeans. It needs to fit just right. I personally started with a zero-based budget, mapping out every single dollar like an overzealous wedding planner. I even had a category called random things I'll probably regret buying. At least I was honest with myself, but here's the thing. It worked for me because I'm the kind of person who color codes their sock drawer. Remember my cousin Mike? He created what he calls the guilt-free budget. Wait, I told you about my cousin Mike, right? See, there I go again. That was my friend Dave. As a matter of fact, I just spoke with Dave earlier. But anywho, let me tell you about my cousin Mike. Every month, he sets aside money for his financial goals first, then spends the rest however he wants. No complicated categories, no daily tracking. Just pure, simple automation. Is it conventional? No. Does it work for him? His growing investment portfolio says yes. The key is to pick a system that you'll actually stick to, not one that makes you want to throw your laptop out the window every time you check your accounts. Because let's face it, the best budgeting system in the world is useless if you abandon it faster than your New Year's resolution to eat more kale. So whether you choose to track your spending with a high-tech app, a bullet journal, or a series of interpretive dances, the important thing is that it resonates with you. After all, the road to becoming a millionaire is a marathon, not a sprint, and you don't want to be wearing uncomfortable shoes for that journey. Don't forget that emergency fund we've been talking about lately. Your friend texts you about grabbing dinner, and you're about to respond with a smug, "Of course, future millionaire coming through," when suddenly your toilet starts making a sound like a dying whale. You ignore it at first because, hey, what's a little plumbing drama when you're on your way to crypto glory? But then water starts seeping under the bathroom door, and your cat, who's usually brave enough to fight vacuum cleaners, runs past you like she's auditioning for the feline Olympics. And this, my friends, is what we call a financial wake-up call. Or more accurately, a "why didn't I keep some emergency money instead of betting it all on digital dog coins" moment. Think of an emergency fund as your personal bouncer, keeping the real financial nightmares at bay. Sure, it's not as exciting as investing in a startup that promises to revolutionize underwater basket weaving, but it's what separates the future millionaires from the "remember when I almost made it" crowd. Here's a universal truth. Life has a twisted sense of humor. The moment you spend your last dollar on that can't-miss investment opportunity, your appendix will decide it's time for a dramatic exit. Your roof will spring a leak, or your cat will swallow something expensive and shiny. But with an emergency fund, you get to be in on the joke. When life throws those expensive surprises your way, you can laugh and say, "Nice try, universe, but I've got 3 to 6 months of expenses tucked away, and they're not going anywhere near that crypto casino." Life happens. Cars break down, medical bills pop up, and jobs get lost. That's why an emergency fund is non-negotiable. Aim for 3 to 6 months worth of essential expenses saved in a high-yield savings account. Think of it as your financial airbag. It might not be glamorous, but it'll save you from disaster when life throws a curveball. Picture this. You're scrolling through social media, and there's your old high school friend Brad, posing next to his third Lamborghini while wearing a crown made of $100 bills. Okay, maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but we all know a Brad. Here's the thing, though. Most real millionaires aren't posting their wealth on Instagram. They're probably driving a Toyota and clipping coupons. And let's talk about staying grounded first. You know that friend who got their first big promotion and immediately bought a penthouse apartment they couldn't afford? Yeah, and don't be that person. Slow and steady wins the race, while Flash Gordon ends up moving back in with his parents. Now about those big expenses. They're coming whether you like it or not. Your roof will spring a leak during the worst possible rainstorm. And somehow, your washing machine will wait until you're hosting Thanksgiving dinner to die dramatically. The solution? An emergency fund that's basically your financial superhero cape. It's not sexy, but neither is calling your parents to borrow money at age 35. Side hustling is where things get interesting. Everyone's got a side hustle these days, from walking dogs to selling artisanal breadsticks online. But here's the secret. Pick something you actually enjoy. If you hate dogs, maybe don't become a dog walker. If you can't bake to save your life, perhaps the artisanal breadstick empire can wait. Find your thing. Maybe it's teaching people how to juggle online or helping others organize their garage. Just don't start selling essential oils to your friends. We all have enough essential oils. And finally, investing. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The same goes for investing, except trees don't compound at 7% annually. Your future self will thank you for starting early, while your present self might need to skip a few fancy coffee runs. Think of it this way. That $5 daily latte habit could be worth over $100,000 in 30 years if invested instead. That's a lot of lattes you could buy in retirement. Remember, becoming a millionaire isn't about looking rich. It's about being rich. And while Instagram influencers are leasing luxury cars for photo shoots, real millionaires are steadily building wealth, one sensible decision at a time. So keep your head down, your savings up, and maybe don't buy that solid gold smartphone case. Your bank account will thank you later. And hey, if all else fails, you can always start that artisanal breadstick business. Just make sure to invite me to the grand opening. And don't forget about passive income opportunities like dividend stocks or rental properties. What are your financial goals? Leave a comment and share with us. Thanks for watching. Until next time.